don't know, man. How come people don't vote, Kevin?
I think part of it is a lot of people don't understand the political process and how important it is to their community, number one. A lot of times we don't believe that the best leaders are involved in politics. There's so many negative things with media scrutiny and diving into people's personal lives that it discourages a lot of people to get involved. And I think for our young people, we have to get them out and vote, and we have to let them know how important this whole process really is.
Yeah, we do.
Your girl has officially voted. I am a first-time voter. I am excited. I should have been voted. Trust me, I know. I should have voted. But I am excited that I voted, knowing what I know. Because at first, I didn't know anything. I didn't know nothing. Didn't know I can even research the facts. So now that I know, it was a pleasure to vote. I got a sticker too to prove it. So if you guys think that I'm lying, I can upload the sticker. It was exciting. I was harassed by my Uber driver, of course, on the way there. What have they done for you? He asked. You know what I said? Let's not argue. Let's just go vote. He didn't want to go vote. He said he wasn't voting. It's fine. So I ran when he said he wasn't voting. I ran to go vote. So I knew what that meant. It was time to go run. So I voted, people, and it was exciting. It was exciting. They screamed out, "First time voter," inside the polls when I was voting there. Didn't expect that. Thought that was going to be a secret between me and them, but it's fine. First time voter. Now, what I didn't like in the process was all the propositions. It was like reading Japanese, and I only know this because I work for the government. So I was like, great. Why do they do the propositions like this? So I was educated to know, at least I was told this. Someone educated me on this specifically. Hey, you can look up the propositions before you get here. What? You couldn't have told me that before I got here? Oh, it's fine. Okay. Now that I know, I will be ready again when it's time. I was ready, though. I still did it. That's all that matters. Okay? Your girl voted. Okay? I feel like I'm going to be president next. Okay? I know. But I voted. So that's all that matters. I was excited. Okay? Woo! But let's just switch up on another note, even though that is so exciting. And I'll let you know, today, specifically, is Saturday, October 26th. I voted. Okay? But on another note, let's switch it up. Okay. So I just came back from going to get me some dinner on this lovely Saturday. In a mix of that, you guys, I had a conversation with, once again, my Uber driver, a new one, of course. And specifically, of course, it's voting day for me. So we were talking about the two candidates, of course. Basically, the conversation went like this. And I'm going to, before I get into the conversation and the quotes of what was said, I want to let you know I won this debate fair and square. Booyah, baby. I didn't know I had it in me. Well, that's a lie. It always just comes. I think it's always God. I won that debate. Fair, strong, square, and to the point that he agreed. Like, I was like, wait a minute. I maybe be able to change people's minds, encourage them to vote. So this was the debate. He stated, well, first he asked me who would I vote for. I was a little shallow about giving it to him, but then I was like, what the hell? Give it to him. Gave it to him. Let him know who I voted for. Then he states, well, I would have voted for Trump. And he states that he would have voted for Trump because Trump likes to get money. and he's basically stating, hey, look, Trump likes to get money. So that means Trump is trying to find a way for you to get money so he can get more money. And he's like, we all want money, you know? And I was like, yeah, but unfortunately, I'm past the money. And I was just like, let me break it down to you in another stance. This is where my brain started connecting the dots. I was like, if you're telling me he's doing this for money, then let me tell you what I hear that you just told me. I just heard you say there's a boss, and then there's a hustler. That's all my ears heard you say. Trump is a hustler trying to get some money. The other candidate is a boss, meaning somebody who can get some money and know how to keep some money. That's all my ears heard. So that's what I replied back with. So what I'm hearing is, it's just like a hustler. He's a hustler, you know, and usually like a hustler off the street just knows how to get to the money. They just know how to keep trying to get to the money. But a boss knows how to get to the money, keep the money, and keep growing the money, investing the money. Not letting the money make him after a while. You get what I'm saying? Like, I won that debate. Just with that point right there. And I was like, with the past, as a hustler, yes, he's brought you money, but how much has he cost you? How much of that money have you been able to save? Or how much do you have proof of those funds now? You get what I'm saying? So it's just like a hustler will forever be able to say, I did, or I used to, I once had. But a boss can say, oh, I have that, or I can go get that again right now, just choosing not to. Those are two different, this is two different paths. It's two different understandings. It's two different levels of life. It's two different types of patience. So, I won that debate. And this was a lovely day for me because I was able to vote. I was able to defend my candidate in a way. Even defend my vote. And then he was stated, after I made my argument, he was like, well, yeah, you're right. Because the interest rates went up. Those mortgage rates went up. Sky high, rocket. You know? Well, yeah, you're right. So breaking it down that easy was like, that's all it took. I didn't even get down to the good stuff. That was just the basics of a hustler and a boss. So, okay. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. I won that debate, you guys. That easy peasy debate. With that little piece of logic, I won that debate. And I voted today. Okay? With that being said, I am proud of myself. And we can go ahead and switch it up. Another switch here. Let's move on, baby. We are here. Okay. So I'm gonna mix it up this time. Usually I'm riding with Uber drivers and stuff, right? So this time I'm just doing a regular schmegular girl. Okay. Got someone. I got a sister. I'm proud of that one. Got a sister. Then we're gonna switch it up. I'm gonna be able to kind of give you insight from somebody that's been there and still growing, okay? So, I remember us earlier speaking, and I told you this topic, this episode, is why do us millennials ignore, okay? You said that you had at least 3 things you want to talk about, okay? We can start with number 1. You stated us millennials ignore. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions for moi?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, so why do millennials ignore the advice that we try to give them?
Okay. And before I answer that, I want to let you introduce yourself with an age and
Okay.
place, city and state of where you were born from. Where you from? Which
52 Dallas, Texas.
52. So born and raised Dallas, Texas. Okay, cool. Okay. I'm excited. I'm thinking you finna stay little Chicago, then moved over. Okay, nope.
Yeah.
Okay. Born and
Been there,
raised.
but
Gotcha.
yeah.
Dang, lived there. Okay, gotcha. She's like not from there though. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So you stated that we're us millennials. You feel like for one as someone that is 52, that's well experienced in a way, you're like, hey, I give advice to a millennial, yet they don't take it. Okay. Do you got an example on a piece of advice you feel like no one took that advice?
Yeah.
They didn't follow. Which one?
And this will probably encompass 3 of my questions that I had. Okay, so example, my son, it was after he turned 16, I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead and get you ready for your driver's license. So I'm like, okay, go ahead, take this class, pass it, and so you can get your driver's license ASAP. Because I'm looking in the future, because you're already saying, Mom, can you take me here? Can you take me there? So I'm like, okay, go ahead and get the driver's license.
He a mover.
Right.
Gotta start moving.
Yeah.
He's a mover. Okay.
Then I won't have to, get up at early in the morning or late after a football game and come pick you up that you're going to not participate in, but you're going to. So I said, okay. So he did the class.
Okay.
He only missed one day. He made that up the very next week.
Okay.
No issue. His issue is he failed part of the exam. So I didn't know that. I thought he failed the whole exam. He only failed part of it. So I think it goes back to what you and I discussed earlier when they're scared of failing and so forth. I understand that, but we all fail. Just get back up and keep it moving.
Yeah.
So he finished the class in November. Before Thanksgiving. He didn't decide to take, after I kept pushing, but he didn't decide to take the test again until towards the end of the summer.
Yes.
And I'm telling him, I'm like, hey, you need to take this test because we need to do the driver's part, this, that, and the other. Because after he takes the test, then he can do the driver's part.
Okay.
Where he does so many hours with me and then so many hours with the company. And so he finally took the test, and I was like, okay. He was like, well, you got to schedule it. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you going to pass it? Have you been studying? Blah, blah, blah.
Not are you going to pass? Oh, my God.
And he's like,
pressure.
yeah. He's like, no, I haven't really been studying. I'm like, well, babe,
You better waste my time.
Right.
Oh, Lord.
So he was like, just, if you could just schedule it. I said, okay, scheduled it. He passed it.
Okay. He was like, I'm going in with confidence.
Right.
I woke up with confidence this morning.
I'm like, okay. And then so he, I'm like, okay, so now we have to do the drivers. So we're in the time frame to where I need you constantly driving. You can drive, but I need you constantly driving so we can go ahead and finish this up. And then all we have to do now is just wait until we have spots open up for the driver's school so he can drive with them. So had he listened to me earlier, then he would have had his driver's license before his 17th birthday, which just passed. So he was just explaining that to a friend of his. He said, had I listened to my mom, I wanted my driver's license before my birthday. Had I listened to my mom, I would have had that. I'm like, yes.
And it's fine, you know. Sometimes we actually need, like I told you earlier, I was that kid that when you said, "Hey, don't go outside, it's a dog," I went to go outside. I peeked in the window, but then I went outside. And you'd be like, peeking in the window is one thing, but I told you not to go outside. So that's what happened to him. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He finally passed his test. When he finally passed it, he knew what it was that was making him fail. He probably knew the answers and was probably overthinking. So that's the reason why he said, "Hey, just book it. Let me go on faith." Because it's like, I know it, but maybe I don't. Like, in that maybe I don't, to me, when I hit that maybe I don't, it then turns into maybe I can't. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, no, and that's where even just trying to, at 17, trying to decipher the difference between failing and getting back up and failing and it's over. That's where even at 17, I couldn't decipher the two. I thought it was all the same. A fail is a fail. It's over. Once it's over, it's over. You know what I'm saying? But a fail is truly not even starting. Yeah. That's truly the failure. If you didn't even start it, that's the failure. So pat on his back for even starting, baby. Now, unfortunately, you had to go see that dog when you went outside. Now, because now you're 17 and ain't got that license like you would like to. It happens. It's a part of life. Shit, that's just life. Like that's the name of my podcast. That's just life. So I definitely see in my eyes here, he can now see the difference. If it's up to him to take this as a lesson, that's the problem. But the fact that he had the conversation with a friend, like, dang, I should have listened to my mama. It's like saying, okay, mama maybe know what she talking about. I had advice given to me, and I'm not saying my mama didn't know what she was talking about, but when I didn't know the deciphers between a fail was like, hey, no, we can get back up and go do it again, and be okay with knowing that you got something wrong. That's it too, because when I got it wrong, I thought I was supposed to have it right, and it's like, well, you thought you know I was always a know-it-all, you know. It's like, well, you think you know it all, and unfortunately you fall.
Oh Lord, oh my God.
You know, so especially if he's someone that thinks he knows it all, he needs moments like this where it's like, told you so, and you're not like, saying it. You don't say it. You don't say it, but you be there to be like, hey, I was trying to prevent that, without actually saying, I told you so. Just saying, I was trying to prevent that. I was trying to prevent that. That's like saying, I told you so. Right. You know, and that's just in the nicest way, though. Because if somebody constantly tells me, hey, I was trying to prevent that. Hey, I was trying to prevent that. I can be like, you was right. Right. It's going to be up to me to say those words that you want to say. You be like, say it again. Say it louder for the people in the back, you know. So I can totally understand that when it comes to advice-wise. Sometimes we need to bump our heads. Now, it's up to him. And I think that it would be nice for you to say, hey, I was trying to prevent that. Because if you verbally hear that, it's like somebody telling you, I had your back. I've always had your back. And that will literally, that's what that exchange it to later for him.
I guess in a way I've said that, but not
using those words. Yeah.
But I'll say it when we have sometimes we'll have little talks. Yeah. And our talks are, look, you know, don't do this, because if you do this, then this is going to happen. Or you know, prepared for this, that, and the other, and da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, well, no, okay, well, then don't do it. Because if you do it, then you know this is going to happen. Okay, Mom, this, that, and the other. And so we have certain conversations over and over, because I know you listening to me the first time, but I just need to reaffirm that it's not going away.
Did you hear me? Right. Those are two different things. So to verbally to listen and to hear you are two different things. And that's what, like I stated, if you use this as an example, like, remember when I was telling you that if you didn't get your license and you kept telling me, so I need you to listen and hear me. Those are two different things. If you saying I hear you, but are you listening? To actual listening means you won't never fall back again. That won't happen to you again. So I had to learn that the hard way, to ask you, Do you hear me or are you listening?
Mm-hmm.
Those are two different things.
I truly believe that he is, or you all are.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that
I think
you choose when you want to act on it. Like, okay, example, my mom told me, she said, and this has been just a few years ago, I guess I was saying some of the same things that she said to me, to my son.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, wow, so you were listening.
And
I'm like, yeah.
You're always listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we listening, we hear you. It's just sometimes we choose not to act on what it is that you're telling us to, because we're rebelling against whatever it is that you're telling us, giving us advice on, a guidance on, which we know deep in our hearts is supposed to be good for us, but we don't want to do that right now. We want to do us. We want to do whatever it is that we want to do.
We feel like y'all hating. I'm going to give it to you straight.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like my parents was hating on me. Like, Bookie, you a little mad because I'm a young one, you the older one, you want to be, I look like you somewhat, whatever. So, but then again, I had to step back and really think about what was being told, why it was being told. Remember I told you I'm a child of 7, and my mama always said, don't have kids. I'm like, girl, you got 7, sis, hold on, run that. But the real spectacle,
yeah,
it was more, I wish she would have kind of went into detail of why not having kids, but, and I think even then I probably was too young to understand, or I would have been asking questions and she'd have been like, you know what, I'm one of those people where you start giving me assignments, I'm gonna start asking why.
I would have chose a different, I wouldn't have said don't have children, because I want to see what becomes.
Yeah.
I would have said don't have it now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a conversation that I'm having with my son. Don't have it now.
Yeah.
First of all, you're too young.
Yeah.
And the responsibility on the cool is not gonna be on you. It's gonna be on that female. But at the same time, her mama's or her dad is gonna tell her, hey, put them on child support. I'm like, you can't even afford yourself, let alone child support. Dude, you're not even working to be placed on child support.
Baby.
So if she put you on child support,
they coming for you?
No, they not coming for me.
Okay, they not.
I wasn't in that room, in that bed,
They not coming for me.
or wherever it is y'all was to conceive this child.
Okay.
So, no, they're not coming for me. Because if they try to come for me,
funny.
then my thing is, okay, well, since none of y'all can take care of the child and y'all trying to get financial responsibilities from me, then why don't I just take the child and raise the child? Yeah, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I mean, that's
what the short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's what you want to do,
yeah.
You know, outside of that, then y'all was grown when y'all was in that bed or couch or, you know, backseat or wherever it is y'all was.
Yeah.
So take that responsibility and raise that child.
Yeah. And I took the little advice that she gave on not rushing to have a child.
Yeah, don't do that.
I just took that little advice and I kind of spun with it to learn more. So it's just like, well, why not? What's so bad?
Because it's not bad. It's live your life. You're young.
Yeah.
Wish
it's a whole different journey.
Yeah, because
it is a whole different journey being a parent. I am learning that. And I'm glad that I took my time and I decided not to do that. But it's also, let's go back and thank my mama. Because she was the one that basically, you better not bring kids home, stay focused, you know. And I was just like, let me stay focused. This is what she's screaming, stay focused. Let me just stay focused.
And a child is a blessing.
Yeah.
Because I'm so blessed to have, you know, him, because at one particular point in time, I didn't think that I could have children.
Okay.
So I'm so blessed to have him. But at the same outside of that, I had him at a later age. But outside of that, I would say if you're younger, in your 20s, early 20s especially, even younger than that, wait.
Yeah.
Go have your fun, live your life. I wish someone would have told me, because I was so worried about, you know, trying to have a child. I wish someone would have said, okay, for right now, go live your life. Don't worry about that. That'll come later.
Okay.
Go travel. Go do you.
See, I'd be nervous about that. And that's good that you're saying that, because I'm 26 and I try not to think about the whole kid situation. But I also am thinking, like, what if I live so much that
you'll forget and
Baby, not to have. And then next, by the time I go to visit my doctor, they're like, you know what? You've been out there living. You can't even have kids.
Look.
So I try not to overthink it, and I'm trying to just live in the moment because I am 26. That's the thing. I'm not 35, 36. I'm 26. So living in the moment can help me. And it's like, just breathe, Boogie. Because what if you can't have kids and then you go have kids? So I was like, I don't want that to be it.
Well, you can also
just keep. I can
have options. You can.
Yeah.
I say you can just, of course, keep up with your gynecologist.
Yes.
And I always ask questions every time you go. Options are freeze your own eggs, and later on you can come back to that if you forget.
Yeah.
Per se.
Okay.
That's an option, and I didn't think of that option either.
She's like, why the hell I didn't think of that now that we said it? When we go get ready to
ladies are having children at 50 now. 50 is the new, early 40s, late 30s for them to have children. I'm just saying.
I'm agree. That's funny. That is hilarious. Okay, I'm going to leave us off because this was a great conversation. This was a good eye-opener. I like this. I'm going to leave us off with a banger question for you. We in this let's say in this climate, in this day and age here. This is one of my banger questions that I ask my Uber drivers. Less money for more freedom, or more money, less freedom?
That is a good one. That is a good one.
And this is up to you. Everybody's perspective is different. Your situation is different. More money, less freedom. Less money, more freedom.
That is a good one. Because I could go either way.
She's like, give me either one.
Yeah.
Think hard on that one. No.
It's like if less money, more freedom, you can enjoy everything. Yeah, right now. More money, less freedom. It's almost like you say, okay, well, I'll go ahead and take the money.
I'm restricted, though.
Yeah. And I'll just save up.
Yeah.
And then once I'm done, then I can have my freedom.
Right.
That is a hard one.
But if you had to pick.
Okay. I'm going to pick the saving up.
Okay.
And then later on, I'll just have my freedom.
Okay, so you'll pick more money, freedom later.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm just asking. That was it. That was a wrap. We are out. Thank you.
For underprivileged NBA players, they need money.
I don't speak English well.
You don't speak English well. Oh, you speak it well enough to own a store.